We need you to sign these papers, Hannah. Your grandmother would have wanted the money shared equally. I stood in my childhood living room, staring at my mother's cold face. I'd walked in expecting a casual family dinner. Instead, I found a tribunal. My mother, Aunt Linda, and my brother Tyler sat like judges behind the coffee table. Legal documents were spread out between them like evidence at a trial. That's when I understood. This wasn't a family meeting. It was a trap. My name is Hannah. I'm 26 years old and I work as a pediatric nurse at a city hospital. I pull 12-hour shifts, deal with screaming kids and exhausted parents, and somehow still find the energy to care. It's not glamorous. It doesn't pay what Tyler makes in tech sales. But it's mine, and I earned it. Growing up, I was never the favorite. That was always Tyler. He's 3 years older than me, and from the day he was born, the sun rose and set on him. He got the college fund. He got the new car when he turned 16. He got attention, praise, and every benefit of the doubt. I got leftovers. When it was my turn for college, suddenly there was no fund. Times are tough, Mom said. So I worked nights at a diner, took out loans, and paid my own way through nursing school. I didn't complain. I didn't have the energy. But through all of it, I had Grandma June. While everyone else was too busy to visit her, I showed up. Every Sunday. Without fail. We'd drink tea, watch game shows, and talk about everything. She never made me feel small. She never compared me to Tyler. She just listened. June lived modestly in a small house on the edge of town. She didn't have much, and I never expected anything from her. I visited because I loved her, because she was kind, because she saw me when no one else did. 6 months ago, she passed away, and she left me everything. The house, $240,000 in savings. I was shocked, emotional, grateful, and I knew immediately it would cause problems. I wasn't rich or glamorous, but I had something they didn't expect. My grandmother's trust. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. The call came 3 weeks after the funeral. Mom's voice was warm and casual. Come over for dinner, honey. Just family. Nothing formal. I should have known better. I walked in and immediately felt the shift. Tyler stood near the fireplace in a full suit. Aunt Linda sat on the couch, arms crossed. Mom's smile didn't reach her eyes. And on the coffee table, printed legal documents waited. A cell phone sat propped up on speaker. Hannah, sit down, Mom said. Her voice had gone flat. I didn't move. What's going on? Aunt Linda spoke first. We've been thinking, and it's not fair that you got everything. Everything? I repeated. Tyler stepped forward. Grandma was confused at the end. She didn't know what she was doing. My stomach dropped. Yes, she did. She was 83, Aunt Linda said, voice shaking like she was fighting tears. Fake tears. My mother would never have wanted to divide this family. Mom slid a document across the table. We had a family agreement drafted. You transfer the house to Linda and we split the money 3 ways. I stared at the paper. My name was already typed in. They'd planned this, down to the last detail. Did you ambush me? I asked quietly. Don't be selfish, Mom snapped. You've always been so stubborn. The voice on the speakerphone cut in. Cold. Professional. A lawyer. Ms. Carter, we're prepared to contest the will on the grounds of undue influence. You're a nurse. You had access. The court won't look kindly on that. My hand started to shake. I was outnumbered, cornered, blindsided. I need time to think, I said. Mom's face hardened. If you walk out that door without signing, don't bother coming back. Tyler added, You really want to destroy this family over money? Something snapped inside me. Voice broke, but I meant every word. This isn't about money. This is about the one person who actually saw me. I turned and walked toward the door. As I reached for the handle, I heard Aunt Linda mutter behind me, "Ungrateful little brat." I kept walking. The next week was silent. No calls, no texts. I thought maybe they were giving me space. Then I saw the Instagram post. It was Tyler's account. A long table at some brunch spot downtown. Mimosas, laughter. Aunt Linda, Mom, Tyler, and even cousins I barely recognized. The caption read, "Family first." I hadn't been invited. I texted Mom. I didn't know there was a brunch. The reply came hours later. "We didn't think you'd want to come. You made your choice." I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. That's when I realized they were cutting me out, piece by piece. A few days later, I was still in the family group chat. I guess they'd forgotten to remove me. That's when Aunt Linda posted, "Some people forget where they came from. My mother gave Hannah everything, and this is how she repays us." Tyler piled on immediately. "It's sad when greed takes over." A cousin I barely knew named Jenna replied, "Wow, that's messed up." My chest tightened. I typed fast, hands shaking. I loved Grandma June. I was there when no one else was. Mom's reply was instant. "Don't rewrite history, Hannah. We all loved her." 10 minutes later, I was removed from the chat. I sat on my couch staring at my phone, feeling like I'd been erased. Then, 2 weeks later, Mom showed up at my apartment. I heard the knock and opened the door. She stood there with red eyes and a sad smile. "I miss you, honey," she said softly. "Can we talk?" I was so desperate for peace that I let her in. She sat on my couch and dabbed at her eyes with a tissue. "I hate how things have gotten between us." "Me too," I whispered. Then she hit me with it. "Tyler's in trouble, Hannah. He owes $30,000 in credit card debt. Bad investments. His ex-wife. He might lose his condo." I stayed quiet. Mom leaned forward. "Could you just loan him $30,000? From the inheritance? Just help him this once." I blinked. "Why didn't Tyler ask me himself?" "He's too proud," she said. "But I'm your mother, Hannah. I'm asking you." I hesitated. "I need to think about it." Her face changed instantly. The sadness vanished. Her voice turned sharp and cold. "You've changed. Money's made you cruel." She stood, grabbed her purse, and slammed the door on her way out. I lay in bed that night staring at the ceiling. One question looped in my head. Am I being selfish? But something nagged at me. The ambush, the fake sweetness, the constant guilt trips. And then I remembered something Grandma June used to tell me. "Don't let people bully you into being small, sweetheart." What they didn't know was that I'd been keeping records. After the ambush, I went through everything. Every email, every text, every voicemail. Years of messages between me, Grandma June, and the rest of the family. I found Tyler's texts. 2 years ago. "Hey Grandma, can you spot me 10K? I'll pay you back." He never did. I found Mom's emails. 4 years ago. "Mom, I can't make it this weekend. Too much going on." That was a pattern. I found Aunt Linda's voicemail 1 year ago. "Mom, I need you to co-sign a loan for me." But I had something even more powerful, a sealed letter. Grandma June had left it with the estate lawyer before she passed. Inside, she explained everything. "You were the only one who loved me for me, not for what I could give. I watched them use me, and I watched you show up even when it was hard. Don't let them take this from you. You've earned it by being kind." I kept the letter locked in my desk drawer. I hadn't shown anyone yet, but I scheduled a meeting with an estate attorney, not Aunt Linda's. My own. His name was Mr. Callahan. He was older, calm, with kind eyes that had seen plenty of family drama. He reviewed the will carefully. Then he looked at me. "They can try to contest this," he said, "but they won't win. Your grandmother was of sound mind. We have medical evaluations from a month before she finalized everything." I felt a flicker of strength return. "What do I do?" I asked. "You stand your ground," he said simply. I confided in Priya during a hospital shift break. She's a co-worker, but she's also one of my closest friends. "They ambushed you?" she said, eyes wide. "Hannah, that's manipulative as hell." "I know. Your grandma left that to you, not them." Priya leaned forward. "If you need backup, I'm there. Anytime." That meant more than she knew. Meanwhile, Mr. Callahan prepared documents to formalize the transfer. He also gave me advice. Keep all communication in writing. If they threaten you, document it. They might escalate. He was right. A week later, Aunt Linda officially filed a will contest. She claimed undue influence. She told people around town that I'd manipulated a sick old woman. Tyler posted on social media, "Family isn't about blood, it's about loyalty." Mom texted me once, "You've broken this family. I hope you're happy." Then came the letter. It was from Aunt Linda's lawyer, scheduling mediation. The tone was condescending, accusing me of being difficult and unreasonable. It threatened a prolonged legal battle that will cost you everything. I sat in my apartment, staring at that letter. I thought of Grandma June, her voice, her trust, her love. I texted Mr. Callahan, "I'm ready. Let's do this." The mediation was held in a plain conference room downtown. Beige walls, a long table, fluorescent lights that made everything feel sterile. Present, a neutral mediator, Aunt Linda and her lawyer, Tyler, Mom, me, and Mr. Callahan. The mediator opened with a calm voice. "We're here to discuss the estate of June Carter and reach an agreement." Aunt Linda's lawyer didn't waste time. Attacked immediately. Ms. Hannah Carter exerted undue influence over a vulnerable elderly woman. She had frequent, unsupervised visits. She's a nurse, which gave her access and control. Mrs. June Carter was 83 and in declining health. Tyler jumped in. She isolated Grandma from the rest of us. Mom dabbed at her eyes. "I just want my family back together." I sat there, hands folded, silent. Mr. Callahan looked at me and gave a small nod. I pulled out a folder. "I'd like to present some evidence," I said. Aunt Linda's lawyer raised an eyebrow. "Evidence?" I opened the folder and started reading aloud. Tyler's text message to June, 2 years ago. "Hey Grandma, can you spot me 10K? I'll pay you back." He never did. Tyler's face went pale. Mom's email 4 years ago. "Mom, I can't make it this weekend. Too much going on." Mom looked down. Aunt Linda's voicemail 1 year ago. "Mom, I need you to co-sign a loan for me." Aunt Linda's jaw tightened. Then I pulled out the visitation logs. June's assisted living facility kept detailed records for the last 2 years of her life. My name appears every single Sunday, often twice a week. I slid the paper across the table. Tyler's name appears 3 times in 2 years. Aunt Linda's name appears once, on June's birthday. Mom's visits were sporadic, mostly holidays. The room went completely silent. Then I placed Grandma June's sealed letter on the table. Before she passed, Grandma June wrote me this. I'd like to read it. Aunt Linda's lawyer started to object, but the mediator raised a hand. Let her read it. I unfolded the letter. My voice shook, but I kept going. You were the only one who loved me for me, not for what I could give. I watched them use me, and I watched you show up even when it was hard. Don't let them take this from you. You've earned it by being kind. Aunt Linda's face flushed red. Tyler stared at the floor. Mom's tears looked real now, not performance. Shame. Mr. Callahan spoke next. His voice was calm and firm. Mrs. June Carter was medically evaluated 1 month before finalizing the will. She was completely sound of mind. We have records. Any contest is baseless and borders on harassment. We're prepared to countersue for legal fees and emotional distress. The mediator looked at Aunt Linda's lawyer. Do you wish to proceed? The lawyer hesitated. He glanced at Aunt Linda, then back at the mediator. We'll need to reassess, he said quietly. Aunt Linda's voice rose. That's it? You're giving up? Her lawyer's tone was flat. There's no case here. I looked at my mother. At Tyler. At Aunt Linda. My voice was calm. I wasn't angry anymore. I loved Grandma June. I didn't visit for money. I visited because she was kind to me when no one else was. You all had the same chance I did. You could have been there. You chose not to. Tyler tried. Hannah, come on. I cut him off. I'm not signing anything. The will stands, and I'm done being made to feel guilty for being loved. I stood and gathered my papers. As I reached the door, Mom called out, Hannah, please. I paused. I didn't turn around. You told me not to come back if I didn't sign. I didn't, so I won't. I walked out. The will contest was dropped within a week. Aunt Linda's lawyer sent a formal withdrawal notice. I never heard from them directly again. Months later, I noticed Tyler had unfriended me on social media. I didn't care. Mom sent one text eventually. I'm sorry for how things went. I read it, but I didn't reply. I wasn't ready. Maybe I never would be. I used part of the inheritance to pay off my nursing school loans completely. All of them. Gone. I put a down payment on a small house. Nothing fancy, but it's mine. I donated $20,000 to the hospice facility where June spent her last months. They named a garden bench after her. I visit sometimes. I sit there and talk to her like I used to. I'm not angry anymore. I'm free. Grandma June taught me that kindness isn't weakness, that love isn't something you beg for. For once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. I built a life surrounded by people who actually show up. Priya, my co-workers, real friends. I keep a framed photo of me and June on my mantle. Her letter is framed underneath it. I've never regretted standing my ground. If this story hit close to home, I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to stand up to family over something that was rightfully yours? Or maybe you've been guilt-tripped into giving up something you deserved? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one, and honestly, your experiences help me feel less alone in mine. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I share real stories here. No filters, no sugarcoating. Let me know where you're watching from too. I love seeing how far these stories reach. Thanks for listening. It means more than you know.